everyone, this is Sir Alexander with part 2 of this game between ChiTaPrime and MysticPrime. This is a Protoss versus Zerg game. Looks like the Protoss went for a 4-gate along with High Templar, has warped in a ton of High Templar, lots of Zealots, lots of Stalkers, only one Nullifier, who's actually been there since the beginning of the game. He was one of the first units warped in, and looks like we're about to get an epic battle here as these guys are going to press their way up this ramp. Doubtless lots of Psystorm action are about to come in. It looks like he right mouse clicked though. Now the A move goes off. His Zealots are not in the fight. They're not fighting, but all of those Psystorms go down, and even more, and tons of splash damage there. All the Zerglings went down, all those Roaches badly damaged. Look at the health loss. And of course, as soon as those Zealots catch up with them, that's going to be game. They do burrow, but he saw where they burrowed. Looks like they're coming up now. A Psystorm comes out, a little bit poorly placed there, doing more damage to his own units than his. And the Roaches will pull off. So it looks like because he just beat his army, he is going to come in and sack this expansion since he can. These Roaches are going to come back up here, though. They now have tunneling claws. Looks like we're about to get a fight here. He needs to get his Zealots in the front lines. More Psystorms going down. He burrowed, but lots of damage there. Another Psystorm going down on those burrowed Roaches. He needs to get Observers into place so he can scout those guys. Looks like another fight, and doubtless more Psystorms will be going down if he has enough energy. He's losing some of those High Templar. Doesn't look like he has enough energy on any of his guys. Therefore, he is going to fall back until he can get some more. 3 more coming in, and more Psystorms going down. Psystorms are just so powerful. Of course, these guys do have 1 armor. And looks like he's taking some free hits here, and now he will turn. They burrow again. He needs to get Observers into play. Over here, looks like a Nidus Worm coming up. Excellent move. Still no Robotics Bay on the map. What a mistake. He's got to get, he needs to get something, and all of these Roaches come pouring out. 2 pylons being warped in here in response, and doubtless a bunch of units will probably be warped in. A Robotics Bay was finally going down, but looks like it might get canceled by these guys who are going to be pushing in. This gateway is going to be knocked down, and I'm not sure why he doesn't warp more units. Oh, he's supply blocked. What a mistake. And all these Stalkers are going to be warping. Nothing else coming through the Nidus Worm yet, but we do see this army is coming in here to attack these guys. Psystorms went down, but that's not going to be enough. Those cannons are not going to hold against them, and looks like the Zerg player has got a massive advantage in damage to the main. Robotics Bay is finally going up, and he needs to come over here and destroy this Nidus Worm. And looks like it will go down, but he needs to get back here to the gold. Looks like these Zerg, for some reason, these Roaches are running. I'm not sure why. They could have easily taken out those cannons and sacked this expansion. Another Nidus Worm coming down here. Good move, putting this Nidus Worm over here. And so we see Photon Cannons and whatever these things are, pylons. Hang on. Nope, just a billion Photon Cannons going down. With assimilators, and this army is pushing back to the gold. So many High Templar. I absolutely love massed High Templar. It's one of my favorite things to do, is just get... I've played in a toss against, and my main opponent was a Zerg at the end of the game, and I literally had 30 High Templars. When we fought, I dropped somewhere around 60 Psystorms on him, and he GG'd after that. Now, these Roaches are moving quite fast, and all funneling into these Nidus Worms, and looks like another Nidus Worm is coming up, and a second one being built. Oh, what a mistake. His army is out in the middle of the map. Looks like he did finally get that Observer out, but he just repeated the exact same trick, and all of these Roaches coming out. Looks like the army is going to respond to this. I would almost think he needs to just warp in a bunch of gateways at one of his expansions and counter push. But Roaches can just follow back into the Nidus Worm. Psystorm's going down. They are going to be burrowed, but do we have an Observer in play? I'm not sure. Doesn't look like it. And so this fight will continue. More Psystorms going down. Those Psystorms do so much damage. And a little bit of lag here with all of these special effects going off. He's Psystorming over here, but the Zerg army is actually over here. What a waste of the Psystorms. Unfortunately, so many High Templars. He might want to think about morphing all those into Archons. Look at all of those Psystorms going down. How much damage. Look at how badly beaten up these Roaches are. But of course, they recharge their health very, very quickly. Just so many Psystorms going off, and looks like he's got energy for even more. And of course he could warp in more units if not. too busy with all of this micro going on, and oh my goodness, more Psystorms. These Zealots are trying to keep up with these Roaches. The Roaches are spreading out and are finally just going to stay burrowed. Why does he not have an Observer on the map? More Psystorms going down, and these Roaches will finally, though a good many are staying in the base, and this Nidus Worm will finally be taken down. Another pylon goes down here and there. He needs to get some cannons up or something, and looks like more Ultralisks finally with 2 armor upgrades. These Ultralisks are absolute beasts and are going to be pushing in. Psystorms going down, but so many cannons. The pylon went down, though. He didn't have a back pylon. And looks like these Roaches are going to unburrow and take down this pylon. Still no Observer coming into play because he is supply blocked. This Ultralisk will finally go down. This expansion might be micro down, but no, these Roaches are going to pull back. The Protoss player needs to respond. He needs to push in and just sack these bases. Something, because all of this harassment, he can't keep up with it. He needs to counter. And my sound just went out of whack. There we go, sorry. He needs to counter and press out so many Ultralisks. Oh my goodness, 6 Ultralisks coming out now, and what an army. He needs to get, he needs to morph these guys into Archons, because Psystorms will do very little good against Ultralisks. I mean, it does some good. I think a Psystorm, how much damage does a Psystorm do? 80 damage to all units in the target area, but that, I guess that's a lot. But of course, Ultralisks can also go in the Nidus Worm, and you can get as many guys in the Nidus Worm as you want, and they can all filter out of here. More Psystorms going down, and all of his units running actually into the Psystorms. Not sure why he did that. Oh, and now he can see the Roaches. He sees where they are, and he is charging them, and of course they are running because now they know that they've been spotted. Stalkers being warped into play, and that will finally be the end of this harassment in his base. Elsewhere, this giant army is about to completely own this expansion. Fire, but that's not going to do a lot of good against all of these Ultralisks. I mean, that is going to definitely slow them down, though. And looks like even going to take out 1, maybe 2. Yes, looks like they will get down 2. But these guys have 3 armor and 2 weapons and 2, the other thing. And a Nidus Worm, another Nidus Worm coming up right here. All these Stalkers pushing in, Psystorms going down. This expansion is taken down, and that's going to drastically drop his income. He needs to counter push. The gold is going up. He is going to lose this game unless he counter pushes. Also on the tech, he really doesn't have all too much weapon upgrade. He is doing 1 forge against 2 Evo chambers, which is not a good position. The Zerg player dropped the Infestors. This expansion is going back up. A pylon going down here. Not exactly sure why. Probably just because he needs to get more. Oh my goodness, and another Nidus Worm with Ultralisks coming out. He has got to put up pylons back here. When will he learn? Not anytime soon. And this is closing on GG, it looks like, possibly. As his main base is going to be sacked, he needs to counter push. The Zerg is out harassing him, and it looks like he's listening to me, and he is pushing across the map. He needs to get Blink for these. Oh, there he goes. He has Blink for these Stalkers. And, wow, look at all those High Templars. So many High Templars. He is going to be pushing back and takes gold, which is an excellent choice. He needs to throw down gateways over here. He's got a Nexus there. He's long-distance mining here. Gateways, yeah, Cybernetic score and gateways going down here. But he's not going to be able to hold us against this massive force, which we'll be pushing down. 4 observers camping in his base. He really needs to. And all of these High Templars just being taking free shots by that Ultralist. They need to get out of there, especially since they've got splash damage. But oh my goodness, look at these High Templars. They are all almost at full energy. So right now he could drop somewhere around 60 Psystorms if he wanted to. That is a lot of storms, and that will really own anything he goes up against. This Nidus Worm still sitting here. He hasn't responded to that. For some reason, the Zerg player did not push back into his base, probably because he wants to defend his main. And look at all these Ultralisks. He needs to tech switch to Immortals. For some reason, he is still going with this Stalker build. He needs to change over to Immortals. Look at all of these Photons cannons coming in. Probably a good choice as he is supply blocked. So right now, it's who can defend their base the longest. But it looks like these cannons a little bit late. But no, the Zerglings are going to attack these cannons. And of course, all these probes are coming down, and looks like lots of action going on here. If he morphed all of those High Templars into Archons, he could probably just muscle his way through the entire base. But he's deciding to stick with the Psionic Storms instead, which is entirely his choice. These cannons are finally warping in, and this Ultralisk is going to die very quickly. He really, really, really needs to get up another forge or two to continue with this teching. He's really far behind down on the tech. He's only got 1 armor to 3 armor and 2 weapons upgrade, which that's a major mistake. These guys are doing 85 damage to him. All of these guys funneling into the Nidus Worms. Doubtless will come out here or here. Who can say? I'll keep an eye on the mini-map, though, to see. Looks like there's 1 Ultralisk going up against that 1 Zealot. We can see who's going to win that fight. As another cannon is being warped in and a lot of gateways. Not sure why he's building in this base, because it's completely undefended. Lots of fighting going on here, and looks like he needs to fall back with these High Templars. All of those High Templars are going to be taken down. He started to morph into Archons, but way too late, and his entire army is decimated. What a mistake. He really needs to change over to Void Rays or Immortals or something. All those Archons go down. And that's 30 High Templars down the drain. What a mistake for almost no gain. And on the income tab, we can see that they're about the same. Lots of Zealots being warped into play. Looks like he... Now, we do see, here's a big difference. 20,000 resources and 20,000 gas compared to 400 gas, 400 crystals and 70 gas that Mystic Prime has. Mystic Prime has got a lot of Ultralisks. Why is he not going Void Rays? Maybe this is some weird thing about the Koreans, but he's not got Void Rays yet. If he had Void Rays, he would completely own this. No anti-air whatsoever. I don't think he even has a Spire up. If he would only go Void Rays, then he would doubtless be far ahead in this game. But no, it looks like he's still choosing to go with this High Templar Stalker build. What a mistake, as if he went Void Rays. Of course, these Ultralisks are helpless against them. And looks like this gold expansion is going to go down, but of course there's nothing here. And so join me again for part 3 of this commentary on this game between Mystic Prime and ChiTaPrime. This epic battle between Zerg and Protoss on Metalopolis.